Hello, Emma here with my daily yoga practice. Thank you for joining me in the studio today for a quickie for your abs. So join me today kneeling at the back of your mat. We'll take a moment to take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Just centering yourself and coming into your practice. Inhale and exhale. This time on your inhale, drop into child's pose, bringing your forehead to the mat and resting your arms behind you. Taking a breath here, inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, rising up, your arms go tall to the sky. Press your hips forward, inhale and exhale, returning to that child's pose. Hopefully a little more gracefully than I did. Inhale, rising all the way up on your knees, pressing your hips forward. And exhale, returning to child's pose. One more time. Inhale, press those hips forward. And exhale, returning to child's pose. Now walk your hands forward into a reaching child's pose. Feel your shoulders. And then rise into table, placing your wrists directly below your shoulders, making sure your knees are right under your hips. Inhale, drop your belly for cow. Lift your chin just a little bit. And exhale, pressing back into cat. Now with your breath, 4 more times. Inhale. Exhale, rounding through your spine. Inhale, really filling up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more round with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Return to a neutral table. Give yourself a wiggle. Feel the sides of your body. See how they feel. Inhale. Extend through your right leg. Find your balance here. Play with it a little. And then extend through your left arm for balancing table. Take a nice strong inhale here. Pressing your energy out through your heel, really flexing your foot, making sure your hips are about parallel and even. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time, extending. Exhale, elbow to knee. And then extending, bouncing here for one more breath. Exhale, placing your foot and your knee back down. Now see how you feel, give yourself a wiggle. And then inhale, extend that left leg long. Same thing here, check in with your body. Make sure your hips are about parallel. You're really activating that left leg, sending energy out through your heel, and then extending through your right arm. Inhale here, just finding your balance. Exhale, knee to elbow. 5 times with your breath. Really filling up on the inhale and really getting all that air out on the exhale. We'll meet in balancing table. Taking one more breath here. And then exhale, placing everything down. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees up off of the mat, just an inch or 2. Pressing into your hands, strong through your shoulders. One more breath here. And then inhale, press your hips up and back for your first down dog of the day. Find some movement here, maybe walk your dog. Float forward to plank, stretch out those toes and the fascia on the bottom of your feet. And then settle into your down dog. Inhale, your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it right between your hands. We'll come up for a sun salutation. Coming into your high lunge. Inhale here. And exhale, hands come to the earth. Your left foot will step forward to meet your right forward fold. Inhale all the way up for tall mountain. Pressing your hips forward just a bit for a little bit of a back bend, and then exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back. Your left leg will be forward for your high lunge on your left side. Inhale, rising up tall. Exhale, hands meet the mat. Left foot steps back to meet your right. And stay in plank for 2 breaths. And then come forward for your chaturanga all the way to the ground. Rising up to baby cobra. The tops of your feet are really pressing into the ground here, activating the muscles of your lower body. Exhale, pressing back to the earth, and then back to our down dog. Inhale your left leg up high to the sky, bringing it forward into your low lunge. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, returning your hands to the earth. Right foot steps forward to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale your arms up overhead. Hands to heart center with your exhale. Inhale your arms up, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot back. Come into your high lunge on the right. And exhale, return your hands to the earth. Step your right foot back, staying here in plank for 2 more breaths. Really activating the muscles of your body. And then chaturanga to your up dog. Back to down dog with your exhale. Taking a moment here before returning to plank. Inhale, pressing forward into plank. Breathing. And then shifting your weight onto your left hand, lower yourself onto your right elbow and then onto your left elbow. And then come back up to your left hand and your right hand. And then lower yourself onto your left elbow and your right elbow. Coming back up onto your right hand and your left hand. 1 more time each direction, so right elbow down, left elbow down. Left hand, right hand. Left elbow down, right elbow down. Right hand, left hand. Coming forward for chaturanga to your up dog. And exhale back to down dog. Inhale, your right leg up overhead, bringing it through your center, and then straightening it out as the edge of your foot comes down to the left of your left hand, and then raise your right hand to the sky, pressing your hips up, opening your heart to the side. Taking a breath here. And then bringing your left hand back to the ground, extending your right leg up behind you, and then open through your hips. 3-legged dog. Your right hip is stacked on top of your left. And then return to neutral pelvis. And exhale, bring your knee to nose. Inhale your leg back up high. Exhale, your knee will come to your left arm. Inhale your leg up high, and your right knee will come back to your right arm. Staying here for a moment, take a breath. And then inhale your leg back up high. Coming forward to 3-legged plank. Exhale, keeping that leg up for your chaturanga into your up dog. Your foot may return to the earth. And then pressing back for down dog. Taking a breath here. Inhale, your left leg will come up, same thing, it will cross under your body. Bring it to the earth, to the right of your hand. Open up with that right arm to the sky. Your heart will open to the other wall. Really pressing up through your hips. And then return that right hand to the earth. Bring your left leg back, a 3-legged dog. Bend that knee, stacking your left hip on top of your right. Maybe roll your foot out here. And then returning to a 3-legged down dog with hips parallel to one another. Exhale, knee to nose. 3-legged dog. Exhale, crossing the body, left knee comes to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, left knee comes to left elbow, staying here for a breath. And then inhale, back to three-legged dog. Placing your left foot on the ground next to your right. Dropping your knees down, come into a child's pose. Breathing here. Inhale, exhale. Bring your hands to the mat. Help yourself up onto your knees to a kneeling position. Take your hands to your lower back and then relax through your shoulders. We'll do some baby camels here. On an inhale, extend through your spine. And then exhale, just gently press your hips forward and shift your gaze upwards. If you'd like to drop your head back further, you may. That might look a little something like this. It's really hard to talk like that, so I'll keep my head up. And then exhale, returning your sit bones to your heels, and then walk your feet through to a seated position. Coming into your staff pose, your legs are strong, energy's coming out the bottom of your feet. Take your hands next to your hips or maybe just behind with your fingertips facing the front of your mat. And then with your feet staying on the ground, pressing your hips up. Feeling that stretch in the shoulders. And then returning to the earth. Taking your hands a little bit more forward. This time we're going to press up. We'll come onto we'll point our toes so that our feet are on the mat. And then instead of returning to the earth with our sit bones, we'll try to hover like that. So you really need to press up from your hands through your shoulders. It will look something like this. Inhale. And then exhale, your feet will move on the mat. You're pressing through your hands so your hips stay off the ground. And then walk your feet forward to inhale, your hips back up. Reverse plank. Exhale, walk your feet back, but your hips will stay up off the ground. And then place yourself back on the ground. If you'd like to take that a step further, you can play with crossing your feet into Sukhasana. Bringing your hands somewhere between your hips and your knees. You can play with your balance point and lifting up here. Maybe your feet can come off the ground. But whatever you're doing, if your feet are resting on the ground, just make sure they're just resting and your upper body and your abs are doing the work of lifting your body. So again, you lift your hips with your arms and your core, letting your feet just rest gently, and then place yourself back down. Inhale your arms up overhead, and exhale, folding in front of yourself. Folding your heart over that easy seat. Stopping for a breath here. Use your hands to help yourself rise. Switch which foot is in front. Inhale your arms overhead. And exhale, walk your hands down in front of yourself, folding over those crossed legs. Using your hands to help yourself back up. We'll come down to lie on our backs now. And we'll set up for bridge. So bring your feet back towards your sit bones, and then pressing into the ground with your shoulders and your feet. Really lift those hips off the ground. Nice stretch for those abdominals that just did so much work. Feel free to close your eyes. Taking a few breaths here. Your feet are pointing straight forward on your mat. Thinking about the energy in your legs, sending your knees towards one another, not to touch, but just keeping them in straight lines instead of splaying outwards. Your legs are parallel, your feet are parallel. Maybe inhale, raise your hips just a bit, And then exhale one vertebrae at a time back to the mat. Taking your knees in to give yourself a hug. Maybe rock back and forth. And then extending your legs long on your mat. Your palms will face up to the sky, ready to receive tidings from the universe. Inhale here, and exhale. Allowing that exhale to release the tension in your whole body as it comes to rest here for a minute. Just returning to your natural breath here. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for a longer period of time. Otherwise, begin to bring movement to your extremities, wiggling your fingers, your toes, your hands, your feet, up your legs, moving up your arms, and then giving yourself a big stretch. Like you just got out of bed. Rolling over when you're ready to your right side. On an inhale, using your hands to help yourself rise into a comfortable seated position. Thank you for joining me here today. The light in me honors the light and love in each one of you. Namaste.